Alright.
Welcome to another build, you spellcasting bastards. This time it's Aloth wizard build. I have him in the game as a pure wizard. Wizards, if they are single class, are best used as crowd control or DPS. In this case I'm giving you DPS. They can be used for both, mix things up a bit, but usually it would be better if they focus on only one thing while only having one or two spells from the other and help the team out. They are extremely effective at both, especially at higher levels. Aloth is a default wizard, and these are his basic stats. He's got really decent stats, kinda lacking in accuracy, but still really decent. For a wizard he's got pretty decent survivability because he doesn't have minus constitution, and also he's got resolve all the way up to 13. You can play Aloth as a crowd control wizard, DPS wizard or something in between, though I would not suggest something in between if you're going for pure wizard class because you have a limited amount of power source points. The grimoire that I'm using right now, which will help a lot, is called the Ningalth Teachings, Ninagalth, whatever. There are some amazing flame spells and some awesome freezing spells in this grimoire. Now just be careful because some of these spells are countered by fire and some of the fire ones are countered by frost, which means if you pull down the fire spell and then frost afterwards, you're gonna remove the effect of the fire spell. So that means no more burn damage, no more status effect from that spell. So it's not a good thing to combine fire and frost spells at once. Though these teachings do exactly that. But the fantastic thing about this grimoire is that it gives you a lot of amazing spells. Ningalth's Shadow Flame, Torrent of Flame, this is amazing when you're surrounded by enemies. Death Ring is alright, Freezing Pillar is alright, nothing special. I love this one, Ningalth's Killing Bolt that summons spirit under your control, absolutely amazing. Wilting Wind is really good. These things got huge AoE range and it also weakens targets. Now this is the total damage that it does. It doesn't damage over time. Weakened will be for 12 seconds and plus intellect. Not to mention Meteor Shower and Cloak of Death. Unfortunately we only have 1 point and none of these two spells are actually the best choice for the last spell. For the last spell the best choice for DPS is, in my opinion, Minoleta's Missile Salvo. This is ridiculous. Especially when you cast Expose Vulnerabilities before that. Which I always love to do. I love to cast Expose Vulnerabilities before using Minoleta's Concussive Missiles or the level 9 one, because both of these are AoE spells. From the first power level, definitely choose Chill Fog. This one is powerful. And it also applies blind. From the second power level, Merciless Gaze, really useful spell. From the third power level, Expose Vulnerabilities, Minoleta's Bounding Missiles, and Langrand's Displaced Image, which I consider the best spell defensively because it's only at power level 3. So you won't really cry if you use power source for this during the combat, and it's got fantastic bonuses and it lasts for a long time. From level 4, already said Concussive Missiles. From level 5 I don't use anything because Torrent of Flame is in the grimoire, so I don't worry about that. From level 6, Gaze of the Adragan is alright, though I prefer using this. This puts so many nasty effects on the enemies and the AoE range is much bigger than Gaze of Adragan. I also went with Chain Lightning here. These two spells are already in the grimoire. For level 7, this one is already in the book. You also have this one, Chaotic Orb, which is really nice. It jumps to other targets and it applies lots of nasty conditions. From level 8 Wilting Wind, which is also in the grimoire. And then whatever the hell you want. Wall of Many Colors, for example, or Karl's Freezing Rake. For level 9, first 2 spells are already in the grimoire, which means get the third one, if you want to go down the DPS route. From the passive abilities, you can go for two-handed style. Combat focus is a must. Choose all 4 of these. Or if you want, choose first 3 without the corrode. The only thing that we do that is decay acid attack is this death ring. And others go for uncanny luck, rapid casting, far casting, improved critical, and prestige. That's it. Rest of the points, if you have any remaining, put wherever you want, as long as you have these one that I already mentioned. Now I'm gonna give you a couple of combat examples what you can do with all these high and low level spells. At the beginning of the combat you start by using Langren's Displaced Image for your defense to go significantly up. Then start, for example in this case, by blinding ranged opponents. Then I always put down Exposed Vulnerabilities against a group of enemies. And now look at this stupid thing that you can do. I mean, you won't kill everyone, but you will damage them significantly. Go amongst all of them where you cast Exposed Vulnerabilities, then use Torrent of Flame, use it twice, and then you can finish off with Corrode. You'll do plenty of damage around you. Another example now by using high level spells. Same setup at the beginning, you use Langren's Displaced Image, then Merciless Gaze. I forgot to mention in the previous fight that Merciless Gaze should always go first or second depending on the situation. And then again Expose Vulnerabilities. And now we're gonna throw down Missile Salvo, which you've already seen, how much insane damage you can do with it. Now they've pulled me in, which leaves me a couple of options: Torrent of Flame, that Corrode AoE spell, or I can just cast Concussive Missiles. They will do damage in a minor AoE circle, but still very effective damage, which you can see most of the enemies are already dead. Then I proceeded to just finish off the rest. Final example, same enemies, these are by the way level 19 enemies on veteran difficulty. Now I'm gonna kill them all by using only level 1 to 5 spells. Same beginning, Langren's Displaced Image or Merciless Gaze, your choice. Here I've used Arcane Will for whatever reason, but Langren's Displaced Image is much better. Expose Vulnerabilities on group of enemies, Concussive Missiles. I'm constantly getting interrupted, but that's normal when you're fighting so many enemies with only 2 people. By simply casting 2 Concussive Missiles after Exposed Vulnerabilities when enemies are bunched up together, you can see the insane amount of damage. It's like 1 Missile Salvo. When you're surrounded by enemies, always use Torrent of Flame, it's really useful, unless they are completely immune to flame attacks. Then I proceeded to refresh power source points and just deal with the rest of the enemies, killing them all in the process, without using any of the spells from 6th, 7th, 8th or 9th power level, just to show you how powerful you can be even with the lower level spells. There are many spells that I haven't used really at all in these examples, I'm just using the most efficient ones, but there are plenty of other good spells. Thank you all for watching, I hope you enjoyed the build. and see you all soon.
Let's go. On your side. On your side. Take him down.